Your dog spots a squirrel on the other side of the street. Its body freezes. Its ears snap forward. A low whine escapes its throat. And then, with no warning, it lunges. The leash rips through your hand. You shout. You pull back hard. A car horn screams. Your heart pounds. You manage to stop it. But what just happened in your dog's mind? The obvious explanation is that dogs simply don't understand traffic, that they're impulsive, that they're not as smart as you think. But the real reason is far stranger. Your dog just obeyed a set of instincts that predate pavement by millions of years. It was not being rebellious. It was not being suicidal. It was being a perfect wolf. Why would that be a problem? To understand this, you have to step into a world without cars, a world without roads, a world where speed meant survival and stillness meant death. Your dog's ancestor, the gray wolf, lived in that world for 2 million years. Every cell in your dog's body still operates by its rules. The rules are brutally simple. Anything that moves fast and small is prey. You chase it. Anything that moves fast and large is a threat. You run from it. But a car fits neither category. It moves in a straight line, without the fluidity of a living creature. It makes a low mechanical hum, not a growl. It has no scent of muscle or breath. It arrives and disappears in a blur. To a dog's senses, a car is a bizarre loud wall that slides across the landscape. It is meaningless noise. Then why doesn't fear kick in? Alexandra Horowitz, a cognitive scientist at Barnard College, has spent her career studying how dogs perceive the world. She explains that dogs do not have a mental category for vehicle. They don't grasp that this object is heavy, fast, and lethal. They experience it like you experience a sudden gust of wind. It's just something that happens, not something that hunts. But why don't they learn? After all, dogs are incredibly smart. They can learn hundreds of words. They can read your emotions. They can solve complex puzzles. So why can't a dog learn that roads are dangerous? The answer lies in the way their brains are built. Dogs are masters of associative learning. They link events that happen close together in time and space. A dog can learn that a certain street corner is terrifying because it once got a shock there. But here's the fatal twist. It might not connect the danger to the car. Instead, it connects the danger to the exact spot, the smell of the curb, or the time of day. What's missing in their wiring? A dog can learn to fear the fire hydrant that shocked it, but not the SUV that nearly hit it. Their brain doesn't generalize invisible threats. John Bradshaw, author of Dog Sense, explains that dogs struggle with dangers they cannot smell or touch. So your own driveway becomes terrifying, but every other road remains a blank hunting ground. No danger stored. No alarm set. But the real flaw is even older than learning, something we baked into their DNA when we made them our friends. What did that tameness cost them? When humans began turning wolves into dogs 15,000 years ago, they didn't just select for floppy ears. They selected for a radical shift in temperament. They wanted animals that were less fearful, more trusting, more willing to look to people for guidance. This created the dog you love today, a creature that sleeps on your bed and follows your gaze. But the cost was enormous. Cognitive scientist Brian Hare has demonstrated that dogs are uniquely skilled at reading human social cues. They follow a pointing finger better than chimpanzees. They seek your approval. They depend on you to keep them safe. In many ways, they've outsourced their survival instincts to you. This is a beautiful arrangement when it works. You watch for cars at crosswalks, your dog trusts you completely. But the moment you're distracted, the ancient programming reemerges. The squirrel leaps. The prey drive ignites, and that trust evaporates for 3 terrible seconds. Your dog's brain reverts to factory settings, and factory settings never accounted for roads. Is the dog even aware of the danger? What does a car smell like? Nothing. And that's the deadly blind spot. Dogs live in a world dominated by scent. 40% of their brain is devoted to analyzing smells. A car is an olfactory void. No prey odor, no territorial marker. If something doesn't smell important, a dog's brain often ignores it. A car has no scent of life. So the brain treats it like wind, like a shadow, like nothing worth tracking. Add to this that a dog's hearing is tuned to the squeaks of rodents, not engine rumble. A car's noise can blend into the background din. The very senses that made them superb hunters now betray them. They can detect a mouse under a foot of snow. They cannot detect a ton of steel moving at 30 miles per hour. That is the evolutionary mismatch. And what's the most dangerous thing that doesn't smell? A car. But what does that mismatch look like in the brain? When your dog locks onto a squirrel, a neurological switch flips. The amygdala quiets down. The reward system lights up. The chase becomes its own reward. This is not panic, it's intense focus. This isn't fear. It's predatory tunnel vision. Researchers at the University of Helsinki found that in this state, stress behaviors drop sharply. Cortisol can fall. Your dog is not weighing risks, it is blind to everything but the squirrel, and deaf to your voice. In that state, even the most well-trained dog cannot hear your commands. The sound of your voice doesn't reach the decision-making part of the brain. You are a ghost to your own animal, and the road ahead is just more open ground. Perfect running. How does a dog miss the loudest thing on the road? This is not an academic curiosity. Traffic is the leading cause of accidental death in dogs under 3 years old. In the United States alone, an estimated 1.2 million dogs are hit by cars every year. That's not a statistic. That's a million living animals whose ancient instincts collided with the modern world. And it happens because you assume they understand what you understand. You see a road and you see danger. They see a road and see empty space. Or worse, they see you on the other side and they see reunion. A dog that bolts across traffic to reach its owner is not being stupid. It's being a social animal whose deepest wiring says that being with you is the ultimate safety. The irony is excruciating. So why hasn't natural selection caught up? In fact, some dogs do learn to handle traffic. Stray dogs in Moscow have been seen using crosswalks. But Dr. Andrei Poyarkov found most never survive puppyhood. The ones you see are the exceptions. Your dog never faced that school of hard knocks. It spent its puppyhood chewing a stuffed rabbit on your carpet. Its traffic education is a towering void, and that void gets filled by 40 million years of wolf brain. What does that mean for your dog? So the next time your dog strains at the leash, eyes locked on something across the street, remember what you're holding. You are not holding a disobedient pet. You are holding the leash of a Pleistocene hunter, an animal that sees the world through a lens ground long before humans put down stone on stone. The tilt of its head, the pricked ears, the coiled muscles are not signs of a bad dog. They are the ghost of a wolf standing in a body that has forgotten nothing. And that ghost still runs. It still hunts. It still answers a call you cannot hear. Your job is not to silence that call. It is to be the wall between that ghost and the asphalt. Because when your dog runs into traffic, it is not being reckless. It is answering a summons older than the road, older than the leash, older than you. And it will keep answering every time it sees something move on the other side. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel. There's much more to discover.